Hey guys, it's me T coming at you with a video. What was I gonna say? I don't feel I'm total complete bum status right now, like in terms of just what's it called? Like just scrub status, I wanna say, not bum. Bum used to be the name of the game, unless you like a beach bum, and then it's okay. But no, but also that's like such like I don't even like to use that word, but I like it because of the fact that it's actually like a fun word, right? Like I don't like to like use it in a condescending way or like in a nasty way, like against anybody, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know, whatever. That was so weird. But also, what I wanted to tell you, so yeah, just ignore that because that was just like I meant to say scrub. I'm scrub status. And even though scrub has a weird fucking connotation to it too, right? So it's like, whatever, man. I'm just not up to par for video status, all right? So, but I wanted to come here because that's what I was getting to do, and I'm so excited to be on here. I'm always excited to come on, even though sometimes I'm not energetically feeling it, because I just feel like at the end of the day, I learn a lot, and I hope you do too, right? So, what was I going to say? So I just wanted to let you know, when it comes to the commentary, I just wanted to let you know that I don't have my phone in front of me, so I won't be able to see any commentary unless they pop up, and then I'll kind of let you know that I've seen it. Like, unless the A-team has me see it, because you're kind of out of the corner of my eye. But let's just get into it, okay? Mr. Buddha, he's right there. He's his jolly self. He's his inner peace today. I love him. He's my buddy Buddha. Okay, so 18, thank you so much. Are we taking 3 cards for today? Okay, give me 1 second, guys, because I'm going to just shuffle off screen for a second. And while I'm doing that, feel free to breathe and ignore the background noise, the noise in the background, because everybody's up and about. Very active today, very active. A lot of transitions going on. Okay, so to my team spirit, I ask that you please place the highest and best 3 cards at the top of this deck that clearly describe today's native, natural, and authentic numerological energies, but also, I'm trying to concentrate, but also the universes and how they apply to, one just dropped, how they apply to our knowledge and spirituality and all self-everything corner. Is this card meant for us to take for today? Is this the first card? Is this the second card? This is the third card. All right, second card. Thank you. So, asking for the highest and best yin and yang cards, please, to be placed at the top of this deck. Thank you. Do I stop shuffling the cards right here right now for the highest and best yin and yang cards? Okay, I was getting yes, so we doing that. We doing it. All right. So, yeah, okay. Do I shuffle? Do we look at the bottom of the deck? Wait, is it for our highest and best good to look at the bottom of the deck? No, okay. So, we're going to place that above us. Do I shuffle this right now? All right, they're telling me later. So, let's do one at a time. Sometimes they want me to do it all at once. Sometimes, you know, I like variety, so I don't give a shit. Do we do this middle card right now first? Yeah, that is what I'm getting. Alright, guys, so Perseverance comes through again, and I think this was the card from, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I can't remember. But here's the perseverance of, like, this is what I'm getting, is like, this is the perseverance of your heart again, since it's the green chakra, but I also want, what I'm also getting is that by midday today, you were actually healed. You were going through some sort of like, you were still giving the day what it was worthy of, right? So by that I mean you were kind of giving, you were giving a lot from your heart. And so what it comes down to, what I'm getting here is that the A-team is congratulating you for actually persevering through moments of the day, especially midday, when you were kind of doing a lot of personal growth status or spiritual growth status. What I'm seeing is the white here. So it's like you were really doing, you were persevering with such heart purity as your heart was becoming more pure, if that makes any sense. So also what I'm getting is as it was becoming more open. So, you know, sometimes that's a very uncomfortable feeling because of the fact that, you know, you are literally not used to having your heart be that open. And so it was like cracked open, but for the good, you know what I'm saying? And towards the goodness of whoever it's meant for. Like, I feel like it's a very high vibed cracking open. Like, it's because a lot of us have fear of, like, you know, falling in love or having, you know, or not even falling in love. It's like who we're falling in love with is what we're kind of fearing, I think, most. Is that it's like, is it the right person? I could be wrong about that, but I feel like that's personally, like, not even one of my fears, because you kind of, again, we're talking about knowledge and spirituality. It's like with knowledge and spirituality, you know shit, you know, but it's up to you to actually really confront it as a truth. Like, is it so? Sometimes I think what we're fearing is more so like, is it our dream? Is it dreaminess that we're kind of like siding with, or is it the truth, when we really always want it to be the truth? But also, when it comes to people who resonate with me, we kind of blend, like, our truths are our dreams. Okay, so it's just kind of like there's like nothing. There's not, and not only that, but you're so like you persevere in the essence of you literally being truthful to yourself at all costs. Like, no matter what, even if it hurts, you just persevere with the truth at all the time. You give yourself the power of honesty all the time, and that's what makes you really fucking, you know, lovable, because that's actually what's felt. So you do the healing. You're self-healer in a sense, right? Self-nurturer in a sense, because you kind of gift this to yourself, and you've been persevering through. Now, today was a very I want to say heavy day. It was a heavy day, and not in a bad way. I mean, it may have seemed so, like, at different points, like, where you're just, like, fucking really, like, you just feel heavy in your energy. You feel down, you know? But, like, the whole thing, and you may not even know, like, what triggered it. Like, sometimes it comes up, like, abruptly, and you're like, dude, I don't even know what triggered this or whatever. That's how you know. Excuse me. That's how you know that it's actually the energy of the what's it called, I want to say the world, but more so the planets, right? Like, it's just kind of like your angels are literally kind of having you, like, they're what they're doing is they're helping you kind of declutter. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. So it's kind of like you don't know that it's happening because nothing triggered it, but you do know that something's happening within you because you feel a certain way, and you're honest enough with yourself to be like, okay, I don't know where the fuck this came from, but, like, it's here, so I'm gonna have to kind of just, like, feel into my feels and, like, kind of just work my way through this. Which you did. So, because I'm getting right away that and also it's so interesting. I was getting white before, now I'm seeing the black. So it's kind of like you were rebalancing, and the black is actually on the outskirts, right? So it's kind of like the light that was coming from within you was kind of bubbling to the top, and it was kind of like expanding, or kind of getting rid of or blasting away, I should say. Or I want to say you're kind of blasting away the negativity with your light, and you're not used to that, right? So as your heart opens, and I'm actually feeling that in the back of my heart, which is like you have I don't know if, like, I'm gonna explain this right, but, like, you know, your body has a front and a back to it, and I'm feeling this in my back heart. So it's kind of like in your deeper heart, you know. The back portion of my heart, like in my back where the heart really lies in the front, like that's where I'm feeling this right now. So it's kind of like whatever heaviness was on your heart. Oh, maybe that's what I'm feeling in the back card. That's so interesting because I've never felt that before. Whatever heaviness was on you as a burden to your heart is now like just was fucking shattered today with your light that came in from above, but also, you know, from around you in terms of, you know, absorption of it from your angelic realm, you know? So they want to actually congratulate you with this one because I feel such so even me, like I was actually like, I was having a really hard time today, midday, and it was like really fucking annoying, but at the same time I was like talking myself through it. And the whole thing is I even had to like kind of knock out and take a nap, like kind of even give up to be like, yo, 18, you guys take over. You know what I'm saying? Because like I don't even know how to fucking handle this on a mental level anymore. So it's like even you surrendering like that, even not knowing how to like handle it anymore was the right decision for you, was the right decision in general. So you're basically, so they're just telling you like congratulations that you got through that because they were able to, it's like you surrendered to it and they were able to help you even more, which this is the reason why I'm bringing it up is because you feel great afterwards. Like I feel like you fucking just went through, and thank you 18, they're giving me a confirmation and I answer the call in my left ear for sure. So so basically it's like they're giving you confirmation that thank you for putting yourself to the side so that you can actually heal, because a lot of people fight their naps. Like a lot of people fight, they're like, oh, they're like, oh, I can't handle this, but I'm gonna just sit here and fucking be mopey about it, you know? And it's like, at one point, it's like, yo, when you've tried different things to like elevate your energy or to raise your vibration and it's not working, that's how you know that it's just like, okay, you're exhausted, you're done, just take a fucking nap, because that's what actually geniuses do. And those that resonate with me are geniuses. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And because I am one too in my own way, so it's just like, you know, I like, you know, it's like the craziness in you is the genius part of you. So it's kind of like you needed to basically give your mind a rest so that your heart can do its thing, okay? It's really beautiful because then you felt like if you did that for yourself today or did anything of that sort where it raised your vibration, it's like you made it through. You made it out into, there's a lot of fucking going on over here, guys, so just ignore that. You made it through that, like, that essence. And this is why probably this, like, really fucking jumped out. This card jumped out and also wanted to be in the middle because that was going on in the midday where it's like, new foundations were being laid for you. And also what I want to say is like it was you getting more more married to your heart, okay? I also, well, we'll see what comes up here because that's very interesting, right? 18? Yeah, they're telling you right. So yeah, so there was like, it was you kind of like, you, even though you're feeling the feelings that you were feeling, you still, this like all happened for you to kind of marry your own heart for the longevity and for the long run of your life. So this was a big transitional change for you guys. So just letting you know, this wasn't easy. So from the A team, I congratulate you for persevering and for doing your thing, because this is not, do I read the book right now from this? Okay, I have to, I know I read this the other day, but I really do feel that it is very necessary for me to read it for empowerment purposes, just to remember what this stands for, because I remember there are words in here that I was like, oh damn, that's fucking powerful. But I have to read it right now because I feel like today is the day that you're really going to also feel into the fact that it's like, this is what you've just overcome. Okay, so let's just read into it. It says, this card indicates wow, and I like fucking, what the fuck was that? That was so funny, A-Team. I just realized I just turned right to it, and I'm like, I didn't even look for this. Oh my god, that was so fucking, it was so bizarrely creepy, but it was so good at the same time. That was so funny. All right, so thank you, AT. Fucking hilarious. All right, so it says, like, and that is so funny. Talk about clarity. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Accuracy and clarity. Amen to all of them. This card indicates a time to keep moving forward as you strive to achieve your hopes and dreams, because despite your current challenges, success is well within your reach. And that's basically you fucking conquered challenges today. That's for damn sure. Like emotionally speaking too. And first and foremost, actually, since I talk about a lot of emotional stuff, like that's basically what I always wanted to kind of come on here and talk to you about, because I don't think we do it enough. And I don't think we do it in a way where I know that if I bring it to the world in this well-balanced way, we're not going to be afraid of it. It's just going to be a simple fucking discussion. And also vulnerability of all sorts, because we all go through the same shit. It's just in a different way that we're feeling certain situations. So it's kind of like, you know, let's talk about this. Let's get this out of your system so you could actually be emotionally fulfilled, and rather than ignoring your feelings and feel emotionally depleted or emotionally, you know, lacking in whatever fucking fulfillment we're all really kind of wanting to succeed in, right? So, all right. So it says, you are never given more than you can handle, and you have the strength and ability to make it through, which you did. Amen. And it took a lot of fucking strength. So face your challenges head on with determination, courage, and faith. And that's what you did. Yes, that's my favorite line. You faced your challenges head on with determination, courage, and faith. Okay. Let me just see. It says, with perseverance and persistence, you can make your dreams come true. I think that's the next step that's coming after. It's like, now your dreams are going to come true because you've made room for them, and you were kind of like that's why this kind of like removal out with the old and with the new happened, right? By drawing this card, you are being encouraged to cultivate mental resilience and stability, since a calm and stable mind creates a calm and stable life. And that's literally my mission too, is exactly that, to encourage to cultivate mental resilience and stability, since a calm and stable mind creates a calm and stable life. And that's what everybody is going for. Everybody wants, no matter what, as a foundation, a calm and stable life. That is for sure, because there are like almost no worries there, okay? It's just like all blessings, all gratitude, you know, all teamwork. There's so much there. So I guess when talking about emotions, is I want to bring to this world like an emotional calmness and stability when it comes down to emotion, so that people realize that you can have emotion and you can have calmness and stability, even feeling the fucking craziest of all emotions, okay? Like, you could be a fucking like Tasmanian devil tornado and still feel and be that calmness and stability within the eye of the storm, right? That type of life, which is beautiful. That's actually pure empowerment, and that's power in general. So I just want to let you know that that's exactly why the fuck I'm here. One of the reasons, because there's so many variety of reasons that I love to have fun with, but that's one of the reasons. So it says, make yourself aware of the negative thoughts and beliefs that are currently influencing you, and muster up the strength to develop a positive state of mind. Now, what I wanted to say here is, with that, is by making yourself aware of the negative thoughts and beliefs that are currently influencing you, you are basically needing to be aware of the negative within you, to then shine the light on it with awareness, and to blast it outwardly, like through prayer, or through what's it called, through just like sometimes, you know what, to me it's like all, you know, esoteric. So I always say through prayer or meditation, right? Like, that's how you're going to blast it out. But what I want to say is, muster up the strength to develop a positive state of mind, which is, sometimes in order to muster up the strength to develop a positive state of mind, what it takes is actually speaking up for yourself. People don't realize that. And so I'm glad that came up, because I feel like I've been watching a series that I love. It's on Freeform. I know a lot of people don't know about that, but Freeform is kind of like, it's an app on my tablet, but I've made it so like an app on my tablet. But like when I started watching it, it's one of the channels that like my TV had. And I was like really fascinated by this freeform channel, and I was like, okay, let me just like kind of like download it just to kind of watch it, you know, to see like what actually happens on there, to follow it a little bit, right? Because I like the aspect of the name, like freeform is actually like a very good fucking name. It just because I like structure and stability, but I also like freedom. So for me, it very much so resonated. So one of the reasons why it resonated with me is because, or one of the reasons why I'm mentioning it is because of the fact that there's a show on there called Good Trouble, okay? It's a series, and I like literally binge watched it last night. And this series is so interesting. If you're into This Is Us, the show, this is kind of like a different version of it, but also like a very like growth version of it, a very expansive version of it, and also kind of like open-hearted version of it, where it's like they also are very upfront with their feelings as discussions, and yet there's so much love felt in that series. Okay, so it's just and not only that, but it's actually happening with people that are of probably, I want to say, an average of 23 years old, right? So it's kind of like they're trying to become adults in this Good Trouble, but they're also trying to stay true to themselves and have integrity and all this stuff. And at 23, it's actually like people try to tell you all the time, like you don't know anything because you're 23, but you actually know more than the average fucking person when it comes down to emotions in terms of the older crowd, because that's basically trying to tell you that you don't know much. And you have so much more to learn. But what the truth of the matter really is that the older crowd has a lot more to learn from the younger crowd, because of the fact that the older crowd was so busy chasing money, so busy pleasing money, and all this, you know, all this stuff in terms of adulting, that majority of them have become sellouts, right? Like, and then all of a sudden kicks in unhappiness and fucking like all this crazy shit where it's like, you know, that's because they weren't true to themselves. That's basically where they were led to, is that like the sellout aspect of themselves, right? So this show is really awesome because it depicts a lot about, you know, like trustworthy honesty, who like basically how to listen to your own fucking intuition rather than the people outside of you who are trying to tell you different things about how you should act and how you shouldn't act and all this stuff. And it's a very good show to kind of tune into if you get a chance. There's only 7 episodes so far, but like so worth watching. And also it's very open in terms of like where the world is heading and how, you know, and how we all need to be a little bit more, you know, we all need to be open to different like possibilities and you know, different people's lives and how they're living it and things like that. So, you know, it's actually pretty fucking awesome. So that's what I wanted to say there, is that a lot of the time you have to muster up, just like it says here, muster up the strength to develop a positive state of mind. And by doing that, again, it's through really sticking to your own authenticity, but also speaking up for yourself in terms of speaking your mind. But it could be just like this, that I'm coming at you with just like, okay, I'm talking with passion, but like there's an essence of, you know, just regularity there, like just a common, like it's no big deal. It's a matter of factly, you know, type of style. So that's basically what it is. And a lot of people think that, oh, you know, for me to stick up for myself, I have to like muster up all this courage to kind of get angry about it and like way more overly passionate than like, you know, like basically to kind of confront the situation. You think that you have to be so fucking like just overpowering the other person. It's like, it's not even that. It's actually, you just have to regularly and normally show up for yourself and just speak your truth about like how you're feeling, and allow the other person to feel into that and also kind of come back with how they're feeling, right? So it's like it's a give and take situation, right? Because it's also very mind opening and heart opening to hear another person's point of view out that like came out crazy. But yeah, it's also very eye-opening and mind-opening to hear, and eye-opening, listen to me, like eye-opening too, but also heart-opening is what I want to say, by listening to another person's point of view, because everybody's emotions are valid, okay? So, and sometimes people need to explain themselves in terms of why they acted a certain way because of the fact that sometimes they're not in their own, like a lot of us are in our own worlds, and you know, and a lot of us are taught different things that other people haven't been taught yet. Do you get what I'm saying? So you have to kind of show up as a teacher sometimes by speaking your truth, to be like, listen, this is how I felt, this is what happened. I'm feeling a little off, and for rebalance purposes, right, because I'm seeing the white and the black. For rebalance purposes, I need to know, and again, 4 is emotions. Oh, that's interesting. So 4 is emotions. 4 is like also an angel number. So it's kind of like, yeah, I always say your emotions are angels. So you have to kind of be able to support and really care for your emotions by sticking up for them and by speaking up for them, right? And and sometimes it's not even about the sticking up, it's about the speaking up part, you know? And it took me a while to realize that, like, because I came from 2 parents that were highly loving to me toward, like, you know, as I was, you know, like, just with them growing up, right? As they were raising me. But what they couldn't do is that they had a hard time listening to their inner child and sticking up for themselves, or speaking up for themselves rather, because they were confused. They wanted inner peace, right? And I understood that. But a lot of the times, in order to create deeper inner peace, and not just that surface based shit where we're just gonna like be passive and not aggressive about it, it creates bullshit peace. Okay, so it's kind of like, it doesn't create peace within you. It actually gives to the other person the opportunity to do that shit to you again. And that's where you need to fucking cut that shit off, and that's when you need to put a stop to it. And that's when I always say things need to stop with you, okay? So you have to have the courage, and I'm transmitting the courage to you right now if you're going through anything like that. And what's the funny part is that, you know, they told me ever since I was younger, they were like, I would point shit out to them, and I'm like, wait, well, isn't this the way that it should be? Like, why the fuck are you having to, like, swallow your motherfucking pride about whatever that other person did to you, when you know that what they did to you was quote unquote wrong, right? And you could feel it, right? Like, I was just a feeling person. And they would tell me, like, you know, T, sometimes you have to swallow things. You can't really like blast things out all the time. You know, you can't change the world. You can't change another person. And I was like, you know what? I'm not out to change anybody at all, actually. What I'm trying to do is because you know what? That would be a fucking project. And I'm already a project in and of myself. I'm a fucking, like, not even a project. I'm continuously working on myself as a project in terms of a masterpiece. So it's like, and I already know how much the work that is. I am not willing to take anybody else on as another project. I mean, I'm already too much for myself, I feel, right? So, and especially like when you have kids and shit, like that's gonna be another project. Like, yo, you gotta be out of your mind if you think that I'm actually here to actually change anybody. But the whole thing is, I can definitely teach you on improving yourself so that you can have a better life, and also influence you in a positive way, where also, I love the title of that show. It's called Good Trouble, where it's like, yeah, in order to gain inner peace for yourself, that is going to be the case where you're going to be trouble for somebody, but it's in a good way, okay? And so a lot of the times, and when you start speaking up for yourself, you're going to see that there's going to be people that are going to tell you, oh, you're so drama, oh, you're so negative, but I thought you were positive, all this bullshit, right? And it's just like what they're trying to say, and what they're telling you, actually the truth of the matter is, you know, in a certain way, they're right. Just it's not their voice isn't coming out right, like in terms of their tone. But they're right, because in order to have inner peace, you literally need to. What did I say? You need to look at all of the shit that makes you unhappy, which is definitely uncomfortable and definitely courageous to look at, even because so many people are just like, oh my God, they're like scared. They're like, it makes me unhappy. There's something wrong with me. And so they like don't even fucking look at it. And it's like, no, look directly at it in its fucking eyeballs, right? And in its energetic eyeballs. And as I'm saying that, I'm seeing eyeshadow. So that's what it's true. Look at it directly in its eyeshadow, okay? Because that's what it is. It's like it's the darker shadow of yourself. So look at it directly in the eyeshadow, okay? I love it. Thank you, 18. So yeah, look at it directly in the eyeshadow, and literally, you know, by you speaking out your truth, you're in just that one action is giving you that deeper sense of inner peace, because you feel good that you just weren't passive about it. Because the more passive you are about your life, the more chances of unhappiness you will actually receive in your life. And that is not at all how you need to be living your life in terms of, you know, the highest and best truth that you deserve out of life, right? So it's just kind of like, so yeah, if they come at you and they're like, oh my God, you're so like, I thought you were so positive. Yeah, I'm really positive. A lot of people don't realize that really positive people need to deal with a lot of fucking bullshit in order to get through the bullshit and absolutely to the permanent positivity on the other side, okay? So again, you could be, and that's if you want to be the person that is actually stronger than a lot of the other people, where it's like you are going to be talking your talk and walking your walk. That's my fucking purpose in this life for sure, because of the fact that I don't like people who are not of that. Like, I don't need a preacher or a teacher or anybody on YouTube or whatever the fuck. I don't need any friends like that even. Do you know what I'm saying? That are literally, oh, I'm going to teach you from this space or this point of, I actually don't do this to myself, but I heard, you know what I'm saying? And actually, if you were to even fucking teach me that, then I'd be so open. I'd be like, okay, cool. You didn't apply this to yourself. Awesome. Again, it's vulnerability, so that I know what the fuck is going on. And I'm not taking it from a place of like, oh, you should be doing this for yourself in order to improve. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're doing it from, if you want to teach me something, you better have that shit in place for yourself so that I can visually see the results going on in your life, right? The happiness results, you know? And so, long story short, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, so, like, if you were to definitely, like, just even come at me with that, I'd be like, okay, props. Like, now I know where you're coming from. You're not coming from a place of, like, a fucking high horse where it's like, oh, you know, like, I've been told that, and you know, that's what you should do with your life. But it's, like, it's coming from a place of, like, hey, this is what I heard. I haven't applied this in my life yet, but I'm planning on to, if ever I were to come across this, you know, scenario in my life or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? So, because again, I love sharing information. I think information is so super big. I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, free information is like cheap information. No way, man. There's so much fucking free information on YouTube that you just need to use discernment whether or not it's going to apply to you. But let me just tell you something. If you haven't even gone through something yet in your life and you pick up on a certain piece of information and you were to share that out in the world, that's still fucking value, right? Because somebody else might be going through some shit that you picked up on and that you were willing to kind of love share on. And now, you know, they know about it because you were willing to actually speak your fucking truth, right? So, again, persevere in the way that you think that you need to persevere in. However, let me get back to this real quick. It says, in order to improve your current situation, you are being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life. Cycles that are encouraging you to persevere through your obstacles and challenges. Call on heavenly assistance. Again, pray or ask or thank even. I always start out with the thank you. Even when I'm shuffling cards, right? Like a lot of the time I'm trying to get into the habit of saying thank you for the highest and best 2 cards, right? Because it's kind of like it's already here, you know? So it says, call on heavenly assistance when you need it and have faith in your ability to create an exceptional life. And that's what I'm actually out for, is creating an exceptional happiness in your life where it's long-term, it's loving, it's everything that you wanted and more. But the thing is, you have to have the courage in order to get it, because a lot of people shy away from it. Again, a lot of people shy away from their light as well, which, has been taught to us. That's not something that maybe like people know unless you're like a Leo and you don't give a fuck and you're like, yeah, I'm going to shine my light from my heart and I don't give a fuck. I'm going to roar, right? Like a lot of people, like that's been kind of not accepted in our society in terms of like if you're to shine too brightly, like there's something wrong with you. It's like, no. There's a spot for you in this light that is here on Earth, right? And it's called the spotlight. So it's kind of like maybe that's where you're meant to be, and maybe that's where you're most comfortable in. So again, and also it's funny because it's like I never saw myself as that, but I've been told a few things that I'm just like, okay, cool. Like whenever I'm ready for it, I guess divinely ready for it, like I'm open to it. So, but that's not something that I'm just like planning on or anything. Like not different things that I'm planning on, but the whole thing is, I'm open to whatever my light needs to do for this earth. I'm open to it. I'm so not like gonna close myself off to my insecurities to be like, no, I'm not gonna, that's not me, like I don't do that. Like, no, fuck it, dude. Like you're here for the purpose of serving the Grandmaster G and the Grand Majesty G. Like I don't know what else you guys are here for to do, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why when you say yes to opportunities, that's why doors constantly are opening, right? Because of the fact that you're just saying yes to the universe, yes to the source, yes to whoever. Like, I will show up for you. I will do it, even if I'm fucking shit scared and I don't feel prepared. It's like, in actuality, you are prepared, okay? So, and I'm saying that for the people that resonate with me because I feel as though the people that resonate with me are kind of like on the shy side, but also are here to kind of like expand their light into the realm of possibility, where it's kind of like it's because you're already working in the realm of possibility. So it's kind of like you're not meant to stay small. Okay. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So it's like, so this is you getting prepared. The perseverance is you getting prepared to shine your light a little bit brighter. And it's amazing because it was all, again, divinely angelic work. So yeah, and also by you being in the light, excuse me, that's part of your exceptional life. Like that's what it is. By you using your light and you being in your light, and if you make it to the spotlight of somewhere, somehow, wherever you're meant to be, that is a part of you living your exceptional life. Okay, so you just have to kind of roll with it, right? The affirmation here says, with perseverance and persistence, I create an exceptional life. That is so fucking beautiful. So again, you're doing great. You've also regained more energy to kind of move forward because like, I don't know if I said it before, but after my nap, I felt like a fucking $1,000,000. Like I was thinking everybody that I felt like I felt so the opposite of how I was feeling before I went for the nap, which I was like, oh my God, thank you. Because it's like, I'm obsessed with high vibrations, like absolutely. High vibrational shit is like what I'm obsessed with. So it's kind of like when I'm feeling low, which is like more often than people think. It's because again, I want to say I'm always tilted towards the positive side of life, but we can't really, like, we can't not accept the shadows of our life because, again, the shadow balances out the light, right? And also, it's never that bad of a thing because if you really think about weather, for instance, a cloud, it doesn't hurt, right? It's like, okay, it might, negative emotions might feel painful, but it actually is there to kind of, like, shade or because I don't know why clouds exist, right? Like, we all actually don't know why. Maybe there's a reason why. I have to look into that. But I'm saying, like, the sun sometimes works with the clouds because the clouds kind of, like, block its light a little bit. But sometimes us here on Earth are really appreciative of that because sometimes the sun might be a little too fucking much. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like there's a reason for, and then when you're like in the shade, like when the cloud goes over or blocks the sun out, you're like, oh my God, thank you God for that, like, relief of really hot sun temperatures. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there is so much to be grateful for there. which I've learned. It's not something that you like should be like, oh my God, totally dramatize it up. Like, I mean, sometimes it is because it's like, depending on how long you've been dealing with some shit, it's like, I get it, right? At one point, you're going to have to turn human and you're going to have to bust a move on the aspect of you kind of speaking your mind or speaking your truth about the fucking emotion. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be dramatic. And I cannot, like, dramatic people, like, can stay all the fuck away from me. Because dramaticness is, like, it's giving it way too much power than it needs to be. And I just can't even fucking have that energy. It's like, please, like, just save your fucking energy for the pleasure of all of us, because there's something else that you could, or more better that you could do with your energy, rather than fucking complain or dramatize up or make it such a bigger deal than it is, when it's like not even that big of a deal. Just like get through it. Like just fucking do what you can, right? And like, you know, whatever it is, like solve your own fucking problems. That's what I'm trying to say. Instead of like complaining and like da da da. Like I understand if you want to discuss shit, to be like, okay, like, let's discuss, like, the highest of a solution. I'm always down for that discussion. Like, I'm always down to get down to the fucking bottom of it so that we can, like, move on with our lives, because I'm such a forward, like, thinker that I'm like, okay, I want to discover all that I possibly can in this life. That, like, you know, in some good, clean fun. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that drama is it's so annoying. It's so, like, overly, like, too much. It's like putting on way too much makeup. Like it's not even tasteful anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. It's like it's too much. It's too much. You know, like it's and I've had enough of it. Plenty in my fucking lifetime. So I'm like I'm extra like, and today you can actually find yourself really, which is interesting. I was kind of feeling it this midway here, or maybe towards the end, where I was like, somebody tried to come at me with the drama today, and I was like, no, you gotta close the door. Like, I'm closing the door. I don't want to fucking hear it. Like, it's just one of those things, like, boundaries had to go up because of the fact that if you can't deal with your emotional shit, and I can, don't you dare come at me bringing that fucking crazy dramatic negativity, you know, into my world when on the other side of the door, I had my door nice and closed. All of a sudden, you know, like people want to come in, they want to talk about it, and I heard everything. It doesn't like again, we have like fucking thin walls here, but it's like, at the same time, like I was like, no, you want to come in here? Cool. Come in here, hang out, do whatever. But don't you dare come in here trying to fucking talk to me about other people's problems when I didn't even go asking for it. Okay. So that's just like, no. So I was like, no, you gotta go out. You gotta just back up, go back out, and thank God that I really do have that power now within me, where it's like, you know, like I am respected because I respect myself, right? So thank God that wasn't even drama, but you know, because I was very adamant about it. I was like, don't even try me, because I'm not going to even go there. Okay, so very interesting. Part of the first part of the day was 2 patients. Damn, and can I just tell you something? I'm laughing at this card because let me just tell you something. Today, the fucking impatience was out of control, okay? So now this all makes sense, because it's like, okay, creativity's at work, like in terms of angelic, and again, the white is really popping out at me, so it's kind of like pure patience was working its creativity. So again, the angels were working with you. So the number 2 is like you and them, 1 and 1, right? Patience, and what I want to say is also patience about because the 2 is also a blend of 2 people coming together. So it could be like patience about your love life, patience about basically a scenario that's bringing 2 people together, okay? Or 2 ideas together, or 2 lives together, or however you want to see it, okay? So patience is like, it's actually like, maybe this was one of the triggers actually, that I was like being really impatient with, you know, how things need to kind of, how things need to work out, because of the fact that it's just kind of like not how I envisioned, but at the same time not mad at it, but at the same time I'm just kind of like it's like, yo, well, if it's in front of me and I said already kind of yes to it, it's like, why isn't it happening a little bit fast? Like, I'm all about like, if there is a if there's a clean yes and no to it, it's like in my mind it needs to work out faster. Okay, so it's just kind of like I'm already there, so I don't know what the fuck maybe the other person needed patience, and like maybe the other person needed more time on something. So it's like you could be clean cut about it, but the person like maybe that you're dealing with, or the scenario that you're dealing with on the other side of something needed to work itself out for you to actually get through to the other side. Now, also what I'm getting here, very interesting, is that these are Halloween colors, right? The white, the black, and the orange. I just feel like the veil was very thin today because I was actually feeling very much so the angels around me, and I even had, do I say it? Yeah. I even had a ladybug land on me, and ladybugs are not even here. And the fucking funniest, amazing part of it was I felt my angels like maybe like 5 minutes before. I felt my angels around me 5 minutes before my mom turned around to me and she's like, "Yo, T, you have she's like, you have a bug on you." And I was like, and I knew right away, like I didn't even say it out loud, but I'm like, it's a ladybug. Like I just knew it. And all of a sudden she's like, "Oh my God, it's a ladybug." I was like, I should have called it because I fucking knew that it was a ladybug that landed on me. And what's so funny is that, interestingly enough, as I was doing this reading with the perseverance, remember how I said it was the back of my heart that I was feeling? Well, funny enough, the ladybug magic had landed on the back of my heart. So it's kind of like that all just like comes into into confirmation that, you know, I don't know what I said with that in terms of the back of the heart, like it was releasing or something like that, or it was opening. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I can't remember what I said. Sorry, guys. But we can all like look backwards or remember it from. If you're really tuning in and paying attention, focusing to on the reading, you probably know what I just said. But other than that, like, I just feel like the veil was very thin where you were feeling your angels a lot, and they were with you a lot today. Like, I felt them throughout the day where I was, like, feeling kind of, like, down or whatever, it would always be that, like, you know, calming presence, or, like, for me, it's always, like, kind of like a graceful, like, just shoulder, like, just like as if they're petting you on the shoulder. Like they're not tapping you on the shoulder, they're just like petting you, like gracing you with their presence on my shoulders, you know. Or sometimes it comes like I had shoulder action today, but like sometimes like you can like feel the angel kisses, like when you're like alone and stuff. Thank you, 18. I'm actually feeling them right now. So it's kind of like the veil was super thin between you and your angels today, where they were sending you, you know, or they were trying to maybe get you through this impatience-ness that you were having with patience. So they were sending you more patience, but it was like, it was a trying time of impatience. I can tell you that right now. And usually I am... like, I cannot, like, I am super patient, so for me to be impatient is like, okay, like, done, like, I'm really at the end of my rope, which is crazy, because I've been feeling that, like, that for a very long time, but the whole thing is, it's like, you know, when you're at the end of, like, a race, like, it's like, okay, you just have a little bit more to go, it's like, the angels were, like, pushing you a little forward to be like, okay, patience still, but it's here, it's arrived, it's coming. Whatever your wishes are, they're like, this had to happen, right? So it's like patience because this had to happen, and now we're going to see like what this is. But it's kind of like you just had to kind of, more heart work needed to be done, which was purely felt. And so we're going to go into, this would be hilarious if it's like purple, because that'd be like Jamaican colors, right? I don't know if Jamaican colors would be green, orange, or maybe it's yellow. I don't know, but let's see. Yellow! But I don't know if it's purple or yellow, or maybe there's a purple missing. I don't know, I have to see. So patience was definitely needed, and definitely trying to, and so what I want to say that with that was just literally, like, if I was fucking impatient, I don't know how the entire world was. Like, I really don't even know how the fuck they made it through, because that was really, like, a little too much for me. Like, I was like, okay, damn, we gotta, like, get moving, okay? So So now it's very interesting. The yellow is joy. Okay. So with communication, I also feel like this is gold actually because there are different yellows in the deck, and they're more yellow. This is like yellow, yes, but also gold. Um, so I want to say like you're having golden communication coming out in terms of people, excuse me, people, and I want to say ascended masters are around you because you've like leveled up. So again, these were your angels. It was like this was you and your angels. These were your angels doing work on you. And then all of a sudden you've leveled up to kind of Jesus and the ascended master type of energy where it's like, okay, you're golden. Okay, that's first of all. And your communication is now really golden from your heart. So where it's like, and I feel that way too. I feel like there's a flow out of my heart today that wasn't there before, where it's like more freeing, more light, more, yellow is also like very much so healthy and happy, and it's just kind of like that's basically like where you're at right now. I also feel like you're feeling very comfortable and coming out with communications that are super ready for like some like they're golden forms of communication, like whether it's something like okay, like I just feel like maybe like how do I want to put it, like kind of life event communication, right? So whatever it takes for you to kind of change lives, it's being communicated now, whether it be your life or another person's or both, or or all of it, like that type of thing. It's like now now you're feeling really comfortable in terms of actually, and what I'm seeing here is the triangle. So it's like this communication is a form of change, um, of you, a form of change where it's basically like you're changing your life for the better, uh, and the more positive, and it's more of a glowing vibe. So it's like golden, and that's funny. What's oh no, it's the Oscars. Okay, Golden Globes. That's so funny because I was just thinking about Golden Globes that they were yesterday. I was like, no, it was Oscars. Never mind. Or Golden Globe Oscars. I have to ask my mom. Are they the same shit? I don't even know. But if anything, if the Golden Globes are the Oscars were just yesterday. I feel like they're two different though, but they could also be the same thing, like in terms of one word. I can't remember. But like it's just funny because the Golden Globes or sorry, the Oscars were just yesterday. So it's kind of like, so that's very interesting in terms of how synchronized that is, right? But with that energy comes like very high form of communication and light, which is to me a high form of communication actually could be somebody that is also in the spotlight, also in the like they're I always like to say I have people in high places, right? So it's kind of like this is like a high vibed form of communication coming in, or you speaking with a high vibe person, or high vibe people, right? Like it's just one of those things where it's like you've leveled up, and that's exactly what I felt, right? Like I was like, okay, this is like a leveling, like this card was going to be a leveling up of sorts. So that's basically what it is. Like this is your nighttime result, and what's really funny is like I was feeling that like I was going to turn off my light earlier today before I went for a nap, but something was telling me no, keep it on because it's like you'll need it. And so it was like I had to keep it on because of the fact that it was like this high light needed to kind of come in. So, and it was actually my light is at the center of my room, which is the health, right? Usually like your light in this of the room in terms of feng shui is in the center of the room, if not like a different type of lighting or whatever. But the big like chandelier-esque type of light is in the center of the room, which is beautiful because it lights up the entire space. But also it brings a lot of healing and health and happiness to it when we're done light. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I needed, like, because I was feeling a little like on the dark side of life, I needed the light to kind of help support me. So actually that's a very good, thank you 18, that's a very good rebalancing tip, is that if you feel as if you're in the dark emotionally, it's very good to put on lights all over the fucking place. So, and especially in the center of your room, of which you're kind of hanging out in, because that will definitely support you, but also bring in different, you know, angels from different places to kind of like help you out in terms of what it is that you need. I love that. That's such a fucking good feng shui tip, guys. Thank you. Awesome. Okay. So we're moving on to how many cards? Do we pick 2 out of here? Okay, they want me to pick 1. All right. So, which makes sense, right? So I'm doing the self-love cards today. So let me just ask. 18. Thank you so much for the highest and best 1 card of self-love that you'll place at that I want to say that you'll be placing, or that I would like you to place at the top of the deck, please. That clearly describe what we need to know about. Hold on, too many cards, guys. Going down. Give me a second. Give me a sec. Oh my god, I love Charles Puth, I think his name is. Sorry guys, it's gonna take me a second to pick this up because they're thinner cards. Okay. Perfume Regret. I love this song. Do you want me to stop right now at all? Okay. Do I stop here right now? The one that just flew out? Okay, they're telling me yes. Ah, yes. Oh, this is beautiful. Talk about the number last time in this last reading that the perseverance came up. It's gratitude. I am grateful. So that's definitely, one card to believe in terms of the process of it all. Did I talk about the bottom of the deck here at all? Okay. So, and I'm going to just actually put this up here for later. But I am grateful. That's basically, that's basically what you're going to be believing in today, and having you get through a lot of this stuff. And like I was saying, after having gone through this perseverant moment or whatnot, like this transition, like right over here, or no, after having gone through this transition, to the A team, and literally, like I said, when I woke up, which was about this time, I literally was just like, oh my god, I'm so grateful that I don't feel the way that I felt earlier today, because I felt like back in balance. And again, I was picking up on the black and white. So it's kind of like you were realigned, back in balance. Your heart was feeling great, and also gratitude. You know what I'm saying? So, so it's like, you know, you may have been grateful here too, but sometimes I feel as though this tough time where it's like, I knew that even if I turned to my gratitude journal right then and there to reverse like my emotions, like to kind of make it better, I knew it went deeper than that, and I was like, nah, that's not gonna work today. Like I can try, but I just knew that it was like I could not fake this shit today. Like I couldn't, and not that I'm like faking gratefulness. It's not that. It's like, you know, when you don't want to fake around with yourself, to be like, listen, it is what it is. Like this is how I'm feeling. And sometimes when you transition into, you know, when some people say like get over it, like you can't get over it. Like this was something I wasn't getting over. So it was kind of like I just needed to feel it out. I needed to either meditate, I needed to communicate, I needed to persevere through. That was just something, what I'm trying to say. It's like my gratitude journal could not even save me. I felt today. You know, it was just something I had to personally persevere through. And so that's big what I'm trying to say is like it wasn't fluffy. This feeling through was not fluffy. So attitude is sometimes fluffy, and sometimes you can't transition from like really deep, like not feeling fluffy at all to like, okay, here, let's do something fluffy. Like, no, you can't. You just got to be real with yourself. That it's like, no, sometimes you need, if you're in this kind of impatient mode, you have to have that midway in order to get the gratitude, right? Like, it's just like even though you're the midway and you can like choose, like it again, I want to say it was an emotion that you were not choosing today, you know? So it's like it's something that it was done through the A team, but also, you know, it's like a co-creation of sorts to get you to the next level of stuff, and you weren't prepared for it, and nor were you like, yo, like you could have tried the gratitude journal thing, but I just feel like on the real, like it was not going to get you through. It's like a nap can get you through because it's like that's what you need to do. You need to surrender. But again, gratitude now comes as a result of, you know, of self-love, because you were the one who did it on your own. So amen to that, along with the A team. And it's like now you can be grateful for your A team and for the Ascended Masters, especially now that you've leveled up. You know, you leveled up in your communication, your heart communication, and your, you know, your loving aspect of yourself and your light. And again, I want to say, like, I know I was saying this before, but it's like your heart cracked open. And now this is like, because it was fully healed, it's now really fully cracked open to the right person, the right people, and those that will really respect the shit out of you and having your heart open rather than trampling all over it, knowing that your heart is open and calling you weak about it. It's like, nah, that's not the fucking case at all, because when your heart is fully open and you're actually speaking your truths, you're actually getting more empowerment and you become stronger, right? So that's where your power lies. That's why I feel very powerful in this life, because even though it took me a long time to get there, it was my belief, it was my faith, it was my perseverance, it was the patience I absolutely had. Wow, this is crazy because I'm both of these things. Wow, it's nuts. Okay, because yesterday I was asking what the 24 stood for, and I went into these cards specifically to see if there was a number 24 card to see what it stood for, and I didn't know, because there is no 24 card, but I forgot that I can actually put these together. So patience and perseverance was the name of the game yesterday, but it really, I feel like today was like kind of like the last of today's energy, of yesterday's energies, if that makes any sense. Wow, that's so interesting. So, patience and perseverance, talk about fucking cool. That is really so fucking cool. So, yeah, guys, so, just be grateful that you came out into, you know, there's the light at the end of the tunnel, and that's basically what you experienced today. And so you'll be following through with more of that. I'm excited to see what tomorrow, brings, because tomorrow is, what is it? Oh, tomorrow is, yeah, the angels, the past, the soul family, ancestral stuff, which is what they helped us out with today. So I want to, like, I feel like they're going to give us like deeper types of understandings for tomorrow. But also tomorrow's an Infinity Day, which is also, so it'll be that aspect of life that I just mentioned, plus wealth and power and empowerment. Okay, so which is what we were kind of just discussing now too. So like I'm excited to see how it's gonna kind of develop tomorrow, since we were talking a little bit about both of those energies. Yeah, the crash happened because of the fact that that's a confirmation. So yeah, there's gonna be something really exciting. Okay, cool. It's you know what? Maybe it's not so much about exciting. Maybe it's something to be grateful for, and maybe it's something to also just literally just have us get more real about, which is what I'm always truly grateful for. It's like the realer I can get in this life, the better, and the more light-filled I will be, the more happier I will be, because that means that you're really not willing to ignore any aspect of your life, which means that you can actually be healed and wholesome, total, complete, and just, you know, and a healer for others. Show up as a healer for others in a variety of different ways. And when I say variety, I actually am seeing, so 6, right? Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think there's 6. And actually, when you put it together, well, I don't know. That's interesting. The Merkaba, I'd have to count the sides because I feel like if you're looking at it from a pyramid standpoint, it's also 8. It's 8 points, but maybe more. No, it can't be 8 points. It has to be, shit, I actually don't know. It has to be probably probably 10 points. No? I don't know. No, it has to be an odd number, I feel. Or no, it will be an even number. So probably, shit, I don't know. Like, I can't do math in my head, but I'm also not seeing. But anyhow, so when I'm talking about variety, what I'm trying to say is, like, the Merkaba's points is basically how much variety that your life should be filled with in terms of, I want to say your purpose, okay? Like, and, like, also what I want to call it is, like, it would be cool to have, like, that amount of streams of income in terms of messing around or playing around with variety, but you don't have to. You could just be really good at one thing, and and what if you're really good, like, what if your really one good thing is variety? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why I feel like I'm very, I feel like I'm so, like, that's my strength, is a whole bunch of fucking variety. Because that's what makes life very kind of joyous, happy, playful, all that good stuff. And actually it makes me feel grateful because I get to kind of play around with different things that you can actually also become really good at, So, and by that I mean you can also mimic very well. Like, if somebody teaches you something, whether it be cooking or whatever the fuck it is that your life needs, because life is filled with so many different things that you can learn, then you can literally make the same dish if somebody teaches you, and then you kind of, like, perfect the dish yourself over and over and over again as you practice, which makes you really good. So don't ever, this is just a side note because I don't even know how I got into this, but don't ever let somebody tell you that you're supposed to be specialized in just one thing in this life, because sometimes your one thing is variety, and sometimes you're that good to be that good of an observer or mimicker or whatever the fuck, absorber, to actually learn something once or twice, like, in terms of how many times how many times it is, kind of, like, shared with you in terms of, like, how to go about doing something, where you can pick up very easily, and then all of a sudden you've like just attained a new skill, so you could say that you're really good at that. Do you get what I'm saying? So again, a lot of people think that you need to be, and you can actually be really good at that new craft that you just learned, right? So people pick things up very quickly, and that shouldn't diminish their ability or their skill to be known for being very good in that. Do you get what I'm saying? It's kind of like if I want to, like, I don't know how to express it, but it's kind of like if you're at music and you're not a singer, right? But but you like singing, but you never actually, like, sing in front of people. It doesn't mean that you can't actually sing a fucking song or sing 3 songs, right? Like, a singer, for instance, is a singer, but they can sing so many different songs, is what I'm trying to say. So it's like you're a human that really can have so many different songs within yourself, which really are based off of emotion, if you think about it. So that could be your one thing where you're like, I'm a human and I could do a whole bunch of fucking different things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't ever limit yourself by somebody else's kind of perception of how everybody should be good at one thing or should have a specialty, when it's not really the case. I don't know how the fuck I got into that, guys, but I felt like that was also being channeled. So just take it for what it is, and also and maybe that's a form of the gratitude in terms of what we need to kind of be open to, because now that our hearts are opened and are filled with gratitude in terms of how far we've come, maybe we're taking new directions in terms of which way our life is going, to be open to the fact that it's going to be filled with a variety of different things now, and that's not something for us to be scared of, but that's something to be all embracive of. Do you get what I'm saying? So like if you were, I don't know, if you're known as like whatever like you're doing right now, like don't think that that's gonna, like maybe that's your one solid thing, but you might get into different pathways of it. Do you get what I'm saying? So, but also you might have that alongside of, you know, being an entrepreneur or something like that, you know? So just you know, and an entrepreneur actually, let me just say, is basically a business person that gets to kind of dabble in so many different things. So they don't have to even be good at that one thing. They're more like what's it called? They're more like when you're a scientist, kind of what are you doing? You're like experimenting. So they're experimenters, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, be grateful that you can now, that we're now going into probably this aspect of experimenting, you know, and that you're in that your heart has been open to this experimental factor of, you know, going towards what it is you want when it comes to your dreams. But again, one human can have so many different fucking dreams, even if all those dreams have nothing to do with one thing. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think that's probably where all this communication came from, and all this gratitude is coming from, is like because there's about to be a change in different people's dreams. So just be all embracing of it. And there might be, and why I was picking up on 8 or 10 or whatever, it's like as many points as there are to the Merkaba in the 3D form, is I feel like how many dreams are about to be fucking like opened up to. Like, you're about to be opened up to so many different dreams right now, and probably all at once, but they're all like kind of shining together, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? So just get ready for the divine loving light that's coming our way, or that is already here and that's made its way into our hearts, so that we can actually kind of, you know, expand ourselves out more into the world in a different way, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it's super exciting. So let's get excited and joyous for what's to come, because it's all being guided. And yeah, and then I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I know I did. That was like super fucking exciting. What was I going to say? And so I'll come at you tomorrow with another video, another daily vibe, daily feels video. So I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you soon.